before, but her friends say she was also a victim of a horrific crime in the past that made headlines in Atlanta. Our team coverage continues with Action News Jack's Katie McKee in our newsroom. And Katie, Jokisha Brown was the victim of an attack in April, and her boyfriend is still on the run.
Letitia, the attack happened in April, but it's still fresh on the mind of some of Jokisha Brown's friends who spoke to our sister station, WSB, in Atlanta this morning. Police are looking for Brown's ex-boyfriend, Alfredo Capote. He's been on the run since April and is wanted for rape and kidnapping. Friends say he abducted Brown from her home, and she escaped by jumping out of a moving car.
She went through a very, very hard time with this breakup, and she's steadily voiced it. You know, did she really feel she feared for her life? She feared for her life that something might happen to her.
One of her last Facebook posts says she thanked the Lord for always being in her life and asked for strength. A video on one of Brown's other pages from a day before her murder showed her getting angry, and it ends with saying, "Leave me alone." Now, police have not given any information about a suspect in Jokisha Brown's shooting or indicated that the link to the April incident, but it's obviously on the mind of at least some of her friends. In the newsroom, Katie McKee, CBS 47, Action News Jack.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. This is Talking Crime, and my name is Shanira. Today we have another story, and you guys, this channel covers domestic violence crimes and also missing cases. Today's video is about a domestic violence case, and the story is about a young lady named Jokisha Brown. Now, Jokisha Brown was 35 years old, and Jokisha was from Jacksonville, Florida. She was born July 2nd, 1980, and she was the oldest of 8 children. So she learned techniques of motherhood, nurturing, because she assisted her mother around the house with her siblings. Now, Jokisha also had a brother that was around like 11 months younger than her. So both of them had a, tight bond. Jokisha was so dedicated to her family, and also she had so many dreams, goals, and ambitions to the point where she was set out to complete them. She loved to dance, model, and also she wanted to be an actress. Now, Jokisha eventually graduated from high school and worked several jobs in Jacksonville, and to the point where she wanted to try something new. But before then, she wound up having a son, and her son was the only child. She gave birth to him September 17th, 1998. Eventually, Jokisha moved out of Jacksonville, Florida, and moved to Atlanta, where she wound up getting a house in Duluth, Georgia. Jokisha also danced for a living, and she enjoyed life. Her heart was filled with so much love, and she was dedicated to her life and her son. Unfortunately, Jokisha wound up losing her brother unexpectedly, and her heart was so broken. Like many of us, they are our darkest moments.
I can't believe somebody took my brother away from the family. I want to thank everybody for helping us. I just still can't believe somebody did that. Can't believe it.
But Jokisha kind of bounced back a little bit, even though she was still heartbroken. Eventually, Jokisha starred in a movie called Queen's Pen, and she was just seeing her dreams out. Now, Jokisha started dating a guy named Alfredo Capote, age 30. Eventually, they split up because the relationship was physically, mentally, and emotionally draining to Jokisha. One day, allegedly, Alfredo wound up breaking in Jokisha's house and basically act like he was robbing the place. One guy pointed a gun in Jokisha's 17-year-old son's back, saying that they were looking for money, while the other guy took Jokisha out of the same room and took her into another room and sexual assaulted her. Eventually, she was kidnapped and taken to a hotel where she was sexually assaulted again. Her son was able to call the police after they left and explain exactly everything to the police. They took his mother, and he's afraid for her life because they threatened to kill her if he was to call police. Eventually, Jokisha wound up escaping, and she jumped into a stranger's back seat of their car, hiding and begging them to call the police. Eventually, the stranger allowed her to, and she stayed hidden in the car until police got there so she can tell them exactly what happened, making a report. Police officers started searching for Alfredo for several weeks. Now, even though Jokisha was kind of scared and startled, she still went along with her day-to-day life. And eventually, she would set an appointment up for her makeup to get done because her birthday was the next day. Unfortunately, on July 1st, 2016, Jokisha would be sitting in her car outside of the plaza where she always go to get her makeup done. And somebody approached her passenger side of her Mercedes SUV, shooting several rounds in the vehicle, killing Jokisha. Witnesses stated that this person was light-skinned, and they kind of explained how the person looked, giving police officers a description of her ex, Alfredo. They was literally searching for him still until they finally caught him and brought him in for questioning, and also on charges before the murder, which was charges that he kidnapped Jokisha, and those charges were armed robbery, rape, false imprisonment, aggravated sexual battery. Now, those were the charges when he faked robbing Jokisha and kidnapping her. So far, he has just been named a suspect in her murder, and he is sitting in jail as of right now.
Brown to rest today in Regency. She's the Jacksonville woman who was killed in Atlanta. Jokisha, who went by Keisha, was an aspiring actress and model who would have turned 36 just hours after she was killed. Channel 4's Ashley Mitchum was at the funeral and spoke to Brown's friends.
Well, she was always considerate and giving and a very loving person.
As Atlanta detectives work to find out who shot and killed Jokisha Brown while she was sitting in her car, friends and family remembered the woman who grew up in Jacksonville as Keisha at her funeral. According to Brown's close friends, her personality was as magnetic as her smile.
She was just a great person inside and out. You know, she walked in the room, she filled the room with her smile. Smile was just so beautiful, and she was always so positive. She's just a great person overall, you know.
She was a fine person. She lived with me for a brief period of time during her teenage years. She's been a fine, fine niece.
In addition to looking for her killer, Atlanta detectives are looking for a motive. Friends say that Brown was going through a terrible breakup, and she voiced her concern about being fearful of her life. Brown leaves behind a 17-year-old son. Ashley Mitchum, Channel 4, the local station.
Family and friends want justice. Unfortunately, Jokisha lost her life by the hands of someone she once loved. Unfortunately, her son, family, and friends will have to go through this heartbreaking moment. You guys, let's continue to pray for Jokisha's son, family, and friends as they go on a healing journey. And hopefully, Jokisha get the justice she deserves. You guys, remember, keep safe. Don't forget to like, comment, and definitely subscribe to my channel where I will be uploading videos every week. You guys, thanks for watching. Peace.